It's Trinity time. We're going to do a video to get you ready to meditate with us on Wednesday night, and it starts right now. This is all about the energy of, what is it, Lou?
Contentment!
Contentment, that's right. Contentment is a wonderful energy. It's not complicated, but we look for it in the wrong place. Most of us are convinced that contentment is something you get, something you achieve. I achieve contentment by making more money than my father made at this age, or I achieve contentment by having the most wonderful Thanksgiving meal ever, or I achieve contentment by finally getting some time off and being able to sit in my hammock and just do nothing. We set a goal, and if we achieve it, we say, oh, I'm contented. But it only lasts for a few seconds, and then you're on to the next goal. So we want to get to real contentment, which is a steady state. You can be contented all the time, not just for a few seconds after you reach your latest goal. That contentment is built on the idea that it's not really what you get. Contentment is not getting what you want, it's being who you are. Contentment is not getting what you want, it's being who you are. Well, how can you be anything other than who you are? Well, you're being who you are right now, but you're probably not aware of it because your mind is constantly making plans for the next moment. Our minds are so active, they're always planning. Oh, did that person hear what I was saying? I bet they didn't hear what I was saying. How are they going to know how wonderful I am if they didn't hear what I was saying? Maybe I should say something else. No, you're being bossy. You're doing that bossy thing again. Oh, I know I am. I should stop that. I got a plan to stop that. Our mind's constantly planning the next moment instead of being here in this moment. So I'm going to introduce you to a concept from Japanese martial arts called Mushin. Mushin, M-U-S-H-I-N. It basically means no mind. No mind. In the West, we would call it the flow state. If you're an athlete, you would say, I'm in the zone. What that means is you're in this flow state where you are being without planning how you're going to be in the next moment. That's all the flow state is. It's you being you without the mental overlay of planning and thinking ahead. There's a million ways to do that. I'm going to give you a way that is, of course, a self-defense technique, but it's not the way. You could do it by drawing little circles and trying to end up right where you started. You know, perfect circle, come back to the same point. You can do it by walking a labyrinth. You can do it by a meditation ritual that maybe you do in your yoga or your Tai Chi class, where you go through this series of movements and you get this little groove going. You can do that. What you can't do is something like jumping jacks. Why? Because your body knows how to do that and your mind knows it. Your mind knows that it is not needed in this moment to do the jumping jacks, so it runs off and does other things. When you're doing jumping jacks, you're thinking about the laundry at home, you're thinking about what that lady next to you is wearing, you're thinking a million things except being here now and letting who you are come out. Why? Because it doesn't take a lot of mental oversight to do this. So you need to walk the narrow line between too complicated and too easy. If it's too easy, your mind will just start chattering. If it's too complicated, you'll probably give up and not do it. So you got to find a physical thing that your mind has to think about for a little bit, but then doesn't have to think about, but still keeps tabs on in case it screws up. That's what you want. You want your mind sitting there watching, but being silent. So the thing I've picked out for you is a windmill parry, and it looks like this. You just go parry, parry as you step. And then you can reverse it. And it's got these two circles. This first hand comes back and sort of skims your ear, and then the second circle mimics it, and then you come forward. And you do the same thing in reverse. Circle, circle, back. Circle, circle, forward. Circle, circle, back. Now what is that for? Well, if somebody throws a punch at you, you're going to bypass it. Circle, circle. Here comes the punch. You just sweep it on past your ear so that it barely misses you, and then you hold it in place with this one, and then you just boogie on out of there. You've already gotten past them. It could also work if they're throwing a punch from the other way. You'd be like circle, circle, and bam! You'd hit them there in the chest, and that'd be more of a strike. But we're thinking of it this moment as just the parry part. Circle, circle, bam, and then reverse it. Circle, circle, bam. Just like that. You got to think about it for a minute or two, and that's the beauty of it. After about 20 reps of this, your brain shuts off, and it says, I got it, but I'm going to keep watching it because these circles are a little tricky. But it doesn't constantly keep thinking, are you doing it right? Are you doing it right? What's the next move? Some people can get there with hula hooping. That's a little tricky. Your mind has to think about it. But after a while, hula hooping doesn't work because you become confident and your brain knows that your body can do it, and it feels free to just chatter at that point. So we want to get something a little complicated, but not too complicated. That's why I've chosen this double parry for you. You can choose anything, but you have to walk that line between too hard and too easy. I can do this, and my mind shuts off. But I can do it on the other side, and it's nothing. I've done this so many times on the right side that my brain goes, oh, he knows what he's doing. I'm just going to chatter. But I do it on the left side, I'm still thinking a little bit. Hope I'm doing this right. And after a while, I know I'm doing it right, but I'm still watching, and my mind's silently watching without commenting. And that's the moment where you reach Mushin, no mind, and you are content. If you find this stuff useful, you should stay tuned for more Trinity.